Oh, that word? That word is Cain.
And Abel.
And Abel. Cain was Abel. Cain was Abel. Because he had my cheetahs steal ligers. That's it.
Okay, we're not talking about cheetahs anymore.
Thank you, Miss Ella. Alright, so we're talking all about murder. Murder. No, look, I'm interested. Murder. It is very bad. In fact, murder was the second sin recorded in the entire Bible.
What?
The second sin ever recorded. The first sin.
Lying.
Does anybody remember what the first sin was? Hey, Mr. Rob, you can turn the computer all the way down. Thank you. Jasmine. No. The first sin, the very first sin in the entire Bible. Isaac. Lying. Sort of.
I think murder
Like.
is better.
Those two people that God told them not to eat from the tree of evil.
Oh, yeah. And they did.
Yeah.
Those two people. Anybody know those two people's names? What are those two people's names? I don't know. It was Seth and Abigail, right? No. Let me think. It was Hannah and David, right? No, I'm sorry. No, that was us. Let me think. Ella and Blake, right? It was Ella. Okay. Bailey and Alana, right? Oh, I got it. Arthur and Guinevere. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, Amber. Who was it? Adam and Eve. What kind of crazy names are those? It's like they're biblical names or something. That is right. All right, boys and girls, you're right. Adam and Eve, boys and girls. Adam and Eve were the first ones to commit the first sin. It wasn't even one of the 10 commandments. God told them not to eat from the tree of good and evil, and they did. And so that was the first sin. And then the second sin is the sin we're going to talk about today. Adam and Eve had 2 sons. The first son was named Cain. Like a walking cane. No, not really. Cain. And then the second son, his name was Abel. Cain and Abel. All right? Shh, girls. Cain and Abel. The Bible actually says one cool thing. If you read it in the NIV, when Cain is born, Eve says, God has given me my first man-child. Isn't that fun? Boys, they all just go to your mom and say, hello, I am your man-child. Isn't that weird? Wouldn't that be weird? Like, hello, I am your man-child. And girls, y'all go to your moms and say, I am your woman-child. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I know, it is. It's kind of weird. All right, yeah, but that's what the Bible's man-child. It's weird. All right, so Cain and Abel were brothers. They got in fights. They had a good time. They were like Bailey and Dylan. You know, they had a good time together. They were friends. When they got older, Cain decided to, let me get this right. Yes, Cain decided to be a farmer. And he decided to actually grow grapes. So he could have grapes. How many of y'all like grapes? Yeah? I love grapes. Miss Liz, she loves grapes so much. She likes only the crunchy ones. The ones that, you stick those in the fridge and they bite into it and they go almost, and then like the juice goes shoot in the back of your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one she likes. So since she likes those, guess which ones I get? The mushy ones that got like the little crinkles on them. And you stick them. They're super sweet, but they're kind of like almost bad.
They're good.
How many of y'all like the crinkled ones?
I like them all.
You like them all?
I like them all.
Yeah. Sometimes I see movies where they take the giant grape thing and they like stick the whole thing in their mouth and pull it out. Sometimes I wish I could do that, but I couldn't. You get grape stems. That would in your teeth. Not so good. Anyway, Cain decides to grow grapes. And then Abel decides he's going to become a shepherd and keep sheep. Now, Cain and Abel, since they were the sons of Adam and Eve, they had a really close relationship with God. In fact, God still talked to them audibly. God came and talked to them, and it wasn't like in a dream or in a prayer or anything. God just came and talked to them and said, "Hey, what's up?" How many of you would like that? That'd be pretty cool. Having like the all-powerful God who created everything you see, just come up to you and say, "Hey, what's going on in your life today?" He already knows, but he just wants to know. He just wants to talk to you. He wants to know what's going on. I would like that. That'd be pretty cool. But that's the kind of relationship that Cain and Abel had with God. Well, one of the things they did, that Cain and Abel did, is that they offered sacrifices to God. Samara, I need you to put that underneath the chairs. They offered sacrifices to God. Now, when I say sacrifices, what does that mean? Anybody know what sacrifices mean? Reminds me of an old song. We bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of the Lord. That's way before your time. All right, Amber. You give something up. Like I sacrifice something. Is it a sacrifice for me if I take Dylan's sock and I give it to Alana? Is that a sacrifice for me? No. Is it a sacrifice for Dylan to give that sock to Alana?
No.
Yes, because then he's down a sock.
No, it's just gross.
It is gross. It is gross. Have y'all ever put on a new sock and an old sock at the same time? Like a new sock on one foot, an old sock on the other foot. I did that earlier this week. I was like off balance. Weird. I don't suggest doing that. All right. Dylan, you can put your sock back on. That's gross. All right. So, they had it's a sacrifice if we give up something that we have and we give it to someone else. So, as an act of worship to God, Cain and Abel decided to give things to him. Cain decided to give God some of his grapes. Abel decided to give God some of his sheep. Pretty cool. That's what Cain had. He grew grapes. And Abel, he had sheep, so he gave God sheep. Now, when we give God something, do we want to give him the best, or do we want to just give him what's left over?
The best.
We want to give God the best. And you would think that's what Cain and Abel would want to do, but that's not what happened. Cain took the best grapes and he put them in his house, on his table, in a little wooden bowl in the middle with the grapes and the other fruit there, and like so his kids could eat them and so his wife could eat them. They were all there. He took those best grapes, the nice crunchy ones that like you could all, and it comes out of the skin, it's so good, you know. He took those grapes, and then he took.
I like the seed ones because it's such.
Then he took the other. He took the nasty grapes.
Ew.
They were supposed to be white grapes, but they were kind of like brownie color. You know what I'm talking about?
Ew.
And they got like the little crinkle parts on it still. He picks it up, it's like dripping juice because they're like rotten. And he took those grapes and he brought it up to the altar they had made for God. And he set it up there and said, "Here, God, I'm giving you a sacrifice." You think God, that's not a sacrifice at all. He was going to throw those out anyway. You think God liked that?
No.
Not at all. Abel, remember he had sheep. And if you think about sheep, the most valuable sheep are the spotless ones. The ones that are completely white from head to toe. Those are the most valuable sheep. You could take those sheep and trade it for 2 or 3 sheep that have like spots all over them. You could. Because those white, perfect sheep are the most precious one. Abel took one of those sheep. And it wasn't an adult sheep that had already had children and had little sheep, little lambs. No, he took a lamb. A baby lamb. Barely 6 months old. Perfect white. Just got little tufts of wool on it. That sheep could be worth a fortune to him. But he took that lamb